By the way, the first of these Whitecaps tickets this Wednesday, 23rd, make me an offer. Why? Ooh. Well, as you can tell, it's been busy around here of late. Not just collecting all those numbers, there's just a lot of stuff going on, but a lot of stuff is always going on. A lot of meetings and events. I was out doing business-related stuff 4 nights last week, which is unusual, but it's still typical of a lot of stuffness that's going on. And including last night, I was here until about 9:30 or thereabouts for the alternative prom. Did you know what the alternative prom is? It's a place for all the kids that don't fit in where any of the other proms are, especially if they're LGBT or Q kids. And 100 kids in fancy dresses jumping up and down to really loud music in the dark in a hot social hall is, well, it's a sight to behold. What can I tell you? They had a blast. I was glad that Heather was there to look after cleaning up so I could go home. It's all enriching, all of this stuff. It's a powerful experience to be so involved in such a rich place. But I got to tell you, I'm getting tired. You see, I'm an introvert, which doesn't mean I'm shy. It means that I need a little solitude each day to kind of pull my wits together. I'm so scatterbrained as it is, I need to spend time putting them all back every day. Now, maybe you're an extrovert and you need to get out there to get revved up. I need to settle myself down. And of course, the trick is we need both of them. We both need to be out there in the world doing things and also in here processing things and knowing exactly how much you need of each. That's a challenge. So the key to this, as I'm discovering, is facing yourself honestly. That is, being really scrupulously honest with yourself about what you need. And that's tough. It's really hard to be honest even with yourself. And I think what we do here in worship is to practice that kind of honesty, to look at things as squarely as we can, as truly as we can, especially when it comes to learning who we are, who I am. And in these minutes, we try that and do a little better each week if we're lucky, which is why I always utter a prayer as we begin. May these words of my mouth and these meditations of my heart be found true in thy sight, thou who art my rock and my redeemer. Let me tell only the truth, and let you be the judge of that truth. Now, one of the things that happens around here is that what you start doesn't turn out to be what you finish. I did not know when I planned worship this month that it would be all about blessings and praise. That was not the plan, that's just the way it turned out. Ever since Reverence for Life Sunday, though, back in April, I found myself drawn back again and again to these ideas of blessing and praise. And here we are at Celebration Sunday when we're recognizing the gifts of ministry that we give to each other and the world. And what could be more deserving of our blessing and praise? And next week is Memorial Sunday, and we take a moment to pause and show gratitude, even if sadness goes with it, for those who have completed their lives in our midst, and to bless them and to praise them as well. And then the week after that, the high school seniors will be here, 3 of them telling us what we need to know about the world, and they always tell us exactly what we need to know. But in the end, I still think I'm a little uneasy using words like praise and blessing. You know, they sound like we're some kind of evangelical Christian church. You know, maybe I should use other words because we're not evangelical Christians. And then I thought again and said, well, wait a minute, we are kind of evangelical if that means sharing a good news thing. That's what the word evangel means. It's a simple Greek word, good message. And we are doing that. That's what we do. It's a message of good tidings. What would be more positive than to tell people, free your mind, grow your soul, change your world? Is that not a hope worth sharing? If you keep it only to yourself, what good is it? There's that whole lamp under a bushel thing working for us. Are not everyone we know here and people we know out there longing to know more truth, to have a sense of meaning in their lives? A sense that there is purpose to life itself. And you know, so I guess that means we are kind of evangelical, although not in the way most people would put it. And in a sense, we're kind of Christian too, but I put that in the lowercase form of the word. You know, when I grew up, I was in a southern home, and when someone did a good deed or was kind to you, say, that was a mighty Christian thing to do. And that didn't mean you went to church. It meant you were a good person. And that's all I think Christian really ought to mean when you think about it. It's just, you're a good person. So, then you think about it. That fellow Jesus, he said, you shall know the truth, and the truth will set you free, like freeing your mind. And then there's that fellow Paul, and we have problems with him. Who doesn't? But he also said, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, which sounds a lot like growing your soul. And, of course, all those early Christians, they went out to help the poor and to speak against the establishment and to protest the way the world was. They were trying to change their world. Holy mackerel, we're Christians. We just didn't know it. So yes, we're evangelical Christians. Yes, we are. So if someone asks you, are you an evangelical Christian? You say, yes, and I belong to Fountain Street Church. And that will confuse them so long that you can make your getaway before they know what's going on. So yes, you're entitled to call yourself that. We're the real evangelicals. We're the real Christians. And if they have a problem, they'll work it out. So now that I've taken the willies out of those words and the willies out of the words blessing and praise, I want to tell you a story about my wilted mint plant. You know how you go to the Meijer or someplace and they have a little garden store, and you see a little plant in a little peat pot. And you say, oh, I need that for my herb garden. We grow herbs really well in our garden. Our vegetables, we generally feed to the rabbits. Or actually, they come and get them when we're not looking. But they seem to leave the herbs alone, so we bought a little mint. Now, you think that's preposterous. Mint grows here like dandelions, but we couldn't resist, and we brought it home, put it on the back porch, and then somehow the next day it was looking all sad and wilted, and it was kind of leaning to one side. And so we watered it and moved it out into the sun and went out for a few hours, and by the time we got home, it was reviving, and by the next morning, it was a downright proud little plant, upright and eager to greet the day. Why do I tell you?